Jones. For the next few minutes, I'd like to speak with you about the United States National Security Agency. We'll look at their mission, what data they collect, and how and why they collect it. Our research included the agency resources, such as the NSA website and other documents, along with the Eric Siegel textbook. In addition, we have investigated assignment questions from sources both favorable and negative towards the agency's practices. As of March 10th, 2026, Lieutenant General Joshua Rudd is the director of the NSA. There are many potential issues with the responsibility of the NSA and the amount of data they collect and analyze. In this presentation, we will focus on whether they are fulfilling their mission while also protecting the privacy rights of U.S. citizens. We believe the NSA can satisfy the responsibilities while protecting the rights of the United States citizens. The stated mission of the NSA is to lead the U.S. government in, quote, cryptology that encompasses both signals intelligence, insights, and cybersecurity products and services, and enables computer network operations to gain a decisive advantage for the nation and our allies, end quote. Cryptology is the study and application of using encrypted communications through the use of cipher algorithms. Signals intelligence is the process of acquiring foreign intelligence from various communications and information systems. The NSA uses cybersecurity functions and techniques to discover and eliminate threats to United States national security systems. According to Priest and Arkin, the NSA is engaged in electronic eavesdropping. Siegel writes that the NSA collects and stores, quote, mammoth, unquote, amounts of data at its Utah data center. This location archives complete telephone conversations along with email messages. According to Kern, among the data the NSA collects are telephone calls, emails, and internet browsing histories. Priest and Arkin reported in 2010 that the NSA collected, intercepted, and stored over 1.7 billion records. In 2013, a Booz Allen Hamilton computer intelligence expert named Edward Snowden, working as a contractor for the NSA, leaked documents revealing how the government was collecting private data. One published by the Guardian newspaper exposed a federal intelligence surveillance court order to a Verizon subsidiary requiring the release of millions of customer metadata records. The USA Freedom Act, passed and signed into law in 2015, modified and restricted the agency's ability to retrieve and store bulk communication collection of metadata. However, that data is still available to the NSA as it is held by the telephone companies. As defined in their mission statement, the NSA is responsible for acquiring and sharing electronic data in defense of the United States and its citizens. Some data and intelligence is also shared with allies. Pappalardo writes that the NSA is looking for an investigative needle in a data haystack. Along with the data, they also collect metadata, which helps identify connections. In order to find that needle, they must first compile a haystack. Siegel calls the NSA the, quote, world's largest spy organization, end quote. Pappalardo explains the process. The NSA first goes to a foreign intelligence surveillance court judge who must authorize the search. Once approved, the FBI's Electronic Communications Surveillance Unit checks that U.S. citizens are not the target and sends a request to the FBI Data Intercept Technology Unit, which contacts internet companies to mine the data. As Pappalardo writes, innocent people can get caught up in a web as large as the NSA uses. Trillions of connections, which may not lead to a crime. Although US citizens are not allowed to be targeted, they could be included if a properly targeted person's data includes the US citizen's information. Munch posits that the privacy rights of people whose data was collected may not have been violated if the data was only collected but not, quote, accessed, unquote, by the NSA. He calls it, quote, the alignment challenge, unquote, when privacy rights may have been violated without actually affecting their rights. General Keith Alexander, testifying at a congressional committee hearing in 2013, said that programs such as the NSA uses have allowed the government, quote, to connect the dots and prevent more terrorist attacks, unquote. Can a government program, which some say is running a program to protect Americans by violating their rights, be expected to actually protect their rights? Since its creation, the NSA has evolved to recognize new threats and to conform to changing laws. The NSA has announced multiple threat incidents, which it detected and prevented through the use of their documented techniques. In 2023, they detailed attacks from China and Russia, among others, which were thwarted by dedicated US government technology experts. What the future holds is unknown. However, the agency will need to learn how to deal with new threats and techniques, such as artificial intelligence advancements.